This picture is from the meal to celebrate 50 years of marriage for a longtime Iowa leader and his wife. At the time, he had no idea that this meal in Hawaii would be their final anniversary trip. Bob Brownell has been a public servant in Iowa for the past 4 decades, and he is now going public with a private matter that has changed virtually everything in his life. Bob joins us now. I have sat down to talk with you over the years about a lot of stuff. This is going to be the hardest one we've ever done.
Well, thanks for the warning.
All right, let's talk about Jenna.
Right.
We saw that picture back when you were celebrating the 50th in Hawaii, and a lot obviously changed. So that was the fall of 21. A lot's changed since then.
Right. In February of 22, she was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. By June, she couldn't recognize me. So it was a very fast-moving blend that they had there, that we had. I thought I could deal with it. We worked with Dr. Robert Bender at Broadlawns, who's a brilliant geriatrician, and he diagnosed it for us. On February 4th, I got the call that she had it. The call lasted about a minute, and in that minute, my life changed completely. You know, I signed up for this when I married her, and so I'll stick with it. I still love her, and she's in a great place right now, getting the care she needs. So,
for you, your family had the experience that I think perhaps some families may not be familiar with, in the sense that with your wife, it was hearing issues, but not perhaps the way we might think about hearing issues that, you know, kind of signaled that something was going on.
right, it's a signal of a dementia, and it's not so much hearing issues, it's hearing issues masquerading. And what I mean by that is that they have trouble interpreting language, and it poses as his hearing loss, but it's not.
And some people have it with vision. Same
Well,
way.
true, yeah. So it's a sensory thing, and so I'd hoped it was not a cognitive thing. I hoped it was hearing issues, and so we bought a hearing aid and all that, and to the extent that it was a hearing issue, which probably there was some of that there, it was not. It was cognitive, so that turned into be. But yeah, that was the first noticeable piece. She had difficulty finding a way home from places that she'd been to numerous times, and couldn't get her way home. So finally, she agreed to get evaluated by Dr. Bender, and she's diagnosed as having moderate level of Alzheimer's.
But as you mentioned, things regressed, got worse so fast.
Quickly, yeah.
How was that to experience? So you're trying to be a full-time caregiver at the beginning of this, and working with your son for help as well.
Right.
What was that like to go through to see that happen so quickly?
Well, the caregiver community has a tough job, because they feel like I did, I think, which was that I can handle this. This is something I can handle. It's
Been married a long time.
Yeah, I've been married a long time. I know her. Best to keep her, and the best practice is, in fact, to keep her in the home. So that makes sense. But we think as caregivers and loved ones that we can just handle anything that comes along, pretty much. By May, I was overwhelmed. I mean, I just couldn't handle any more of it. It moved so fast. I'd get one behavior kind of accommodated, and there'd be 3 or 4 that'd pop out. I felt like I had my hands on a dike that was just crumbling all around me. And so, you feel a couple things. Fear is one, panic's the other one. And Dr. Bender warned us that this would probably happen. Not as soon as it did, obviously, but he said in-home care would eventually be needed, and then probably a long-term care facility. But we thought that'd be 4 or 5 years out. And for most folks it is. And I want to emphasize this, Dave, that most folks that are diagnosed early have mild symptoms. And those mild symptoms, once you're in that area of mild, you can maintain a plateau for years if you eat healthy, get exercise, learn new things, socialize, things that are pretty easy to do. You can kind of keep yourself in a kind of normal state of affairs for a long, long time. Once you get into the moderate and severe stages, that's not going to happen. But if you're in mild stage, you're diagnosed early, you can really you can do some good.
I know you don't want to make much of this conversation about this, but you had to have a friend intervene because you were neglecting your own health.
Right. Well, yeah, E.J. Giovanetti you're speaking of, and E.J. stage 1 man intervention with me. I'm 6'1", and I weighed 205 pounds on January 1st. By May 1st, I weighed 180, so I lost 25 pounds in a matter of months without working out or anything. I had Parkinson's type symptoms in my hands, and my walking was off. And I didn't really notice it either, you know. I'd look into the mirror and I think, oh, you need to lose about 5 more pounds, pal. And but the same kind of thing that women that have eating disorders see. They look in the mirror and they see this, you know, fat girl, and it's not. They're skeletons practically. Had the same kind of effect on me, and I didn't really realize it until people started kind of pulling on my jackets and coats, and I'd be swimming in my suits. So I realized that, you know, something was going bad with me, very bad, and it was going to get worse. So that is what they call patient number 2, and geriatricians will call, that's what they call loved ones many times, is because the effects on them are so profound. They can have stress, PTSD, cardiac issues, weight loss, like I said. You get the idea, but there's a lot of things that can happen to patient number 2 or your loved ones, because you tend to focus on the patient themselves so much, and the stress is so high that you don't realize what's happening to you. And that's the same across the board. Whether you're a caregiver for Alzheimer's like I was, or ALS, brain injuries. I mean, I've heard from, the response to this article has been incredible. I've heard from caregivers across the metro, across the state, really, that have had the same kind of experiences I have.
And you have Jenna in a facility now, so that then has you thinking about your own future and what you want to do with that.
Right. Well, obviously, Alzheimer's is going to be an important piece for me for the rest of my life, and I want to get more involved in the Alzheimer's community. The Alzheimer's Association, which does a great job, by the way. I don't know if you're familiar with them, but they do a great job, great resources. So I want to be more active with them. I'm meeting with them in 2 weeks to see what role I can play. Maybe it's being a facilitator, maybe it's being more, I don't know. But whatever they want me to do, I'll do. But I will not be a candidate for county supervisor in 2024. So it'd be 24 years, and the Alzheimer's piece is part of it. It's not the whole part of the whole reason I'm not running in 2024. I'll be around for 2 more years, obviously, so we'll see each other again, Dave. But that's part of it, though. And the other part is that after 24 years at the county, and I was elected city council member in Clive in 1985, so I've continuously held elected office since 1985 to now. And I think it's just time to move aside and let new blood come in and let a new generation come along and try their hand at it. I feel like I've done a good job. I hope people agree with that. I've taken it seriously, and it's time for somebody else to take it seriously and do a good job.
You've talked about your journey through this, so I wonder in our final moments, obviously it's a super sad interview here. I wonder if you could leave us with a happy memory about Jenna and your life together so far.
Well, gee, there's so many. I hadn't anticipated that question. I thought you'd say, what's your greatest accomplishment? And I'd say, I have no idea.
Your son.
Yeah. We've had a lot of good experiences. You know, we were in Maui so many times, we probably could vote there. And that's where we were for the picture you showed at the outside of the interview. You know, my whole life, Jenna's been great. I met her in 1970 at UNI, and been terrific.
Thank you. We appreciate you sharing this. Thank you for your service as well.
Thanks so much for having me.
We'll be right back.